to go like that. Right. Oh wow. Somebody said the cotter pins were too big for these, and they were right. All right. Does not help to be on this snow, that's for sure. There we go. All right. Let's go ahead and tighten that all down. Oh my goodness. That's another reason why I want to get done today, because all this snow is melting and I keep sinking down past my boots in it. So I just like to get this done, and we'll come back and do the other another day. Probably be a couple days from now. It's supposed to rain tomorrow. But at least everything's ready for the solar panels. Okay. Okay. We are going to hook up this AGM battery, a 12-volt battery, to the controller and see if I can't get this thing flat so I can put some panels on it. So they pre-wired this thing. I'm clicking on north and it's going south. So they've got the opposite. Somebody else mentioned that. So let's see. East, we'll probably go west. Yep. So it's all backwards, just like somebody else said. Their instructions are wrong, and this was pre-wired from the factory, so not only are the instructions wrong, but these guys wired it wrong. So I've got to turn around and rewire everything. So just be aware, if you get this, whoever's in the factory doing this part of it is confused. Like I said, this was already wired. I didn't wire this. So quite obviously, whoever wired this thing up wired it all backwards. Alright, this thing's heavy, so it equates 4 100-watt panels. So let's see if I can't get this thing laid out on here. Whew. Menial. Not easy to walk on the snow still. I did throw some straw down. Whew. Nice, if I can get these into the bolts here real quick. Makes it a little bit difficult because I'm cut close. Let's see what happens. There's one. I really want more support in here, but for now I'm not too worried about it. We're not going to get snow. If I wanted to keep something like this on there, I definitely want to create more support for this, because these are glass. Okay. Okay, I'm going to go grab the other panel. We'll put that on real quick and get all the panels on today. What I've done is I've put on 2 solar panel systems. They'll each have their own controllers, I suppose is the way I would look at it. This panel, I have 2 100-watt panels I'm putting here, and one on the other side already. And that's for charging up the 2 batteries on the travel trailer. But for testing purposes, I want to see how it works. I'm just interested in keeping my generator charged right now and my trailer charged without having to use much fuel. So that's why I'm going this route and putting a couple 100, so I have 200 watts that'll trickle charge the batteries all the time. And I think that'll be adequate. If I have to use some fuel once in a while, I doubt I will have to use it at all, because summer's going to be here before we all know it. Hopefully. We've got some nice weather coming up though, so I'm not too concerned. This is the high desert. Just that I get some pretty significant winters. Definitely. These will get wired up later. I got some more 50 feet more of wiring coming. I don't even know if that's enough wiring. Honestly, it looks like I'm about 60 feet away. Play it by ear and see. Because the controller is going to be, for the batteries, is going to be at the trailer. The controller's at the trailer for this too. I mean, it's part of the solar generator. So my goal 0, 1250, that's old. I just ordered a new battery for it. I'm going to create a little building out here. I'm going to use that Goal Zero 1250 generator with a new battery in it to power this control right here and keep this thing moving the way it needs, and then I can put this little battery back in there. My Goal Zero has two 30-watt solar panels. I'll probably mount them to the fence out here in the corner and call it good. That'll keep it charged up for what little juice this is going to draw to keep it in the sun. And that battery, that's a lead acid battery, so it actually does pretty good in the cold in comparison to your lithiums. Lithiums are a much better battery. They last longer. You get a better charge out of them, but they are not really cold hardy. I don't even know if they're heat hardy, honestly, but they definitely are not cold hardy. So this is ready to roll. I think I'm gonna angle this down a little bit because I'm gonna try to finish up the positive and negative cables and run them to the trailer so I can keep running a generator for now. So we'll go ahead and hook this guy up. It just kept going. That's good enough. All right. That'll catch some sun rays. Don't want to hook that up for now. You can kind of get an idea how I have this laid out. Okay, so I've got this hooked up to a little battery temporarily until I get a place made to put my solar generator and I get my battery for my Goal Zero, because I'm going to use the Goal Zero to power this thing for now. And this is just temporarily set up. These panels will not be on it in the future. In the future I will get some other solar panels and put on here, but these are ones just handy and I don't need to spend any more money right this moment on stuff like this. So anyway, I only had to switch what side was that? I think it was my east and west. I had to change the wires on. Everything else the wiring was correct on. Then I fiddled with the perimeters and stuff. And it's a cloudy, overcast day right now. So the only other thing I've got to do is take the wiring and kind of clean it up. I got to check there we go, we got it moving. It's trying to adjust and capture the sun. The sun's coming through the clouds up above. And so it's adjusting for that and trying to keep up with it. And right now, that's 400 watts in the center. That's going up to my EcoFlow solar generator, powering that. These aren't hooked up yet. These are actually, I've got more wire coming. I'm going to hook these two panels in conjunction with each other. I'll probably make the wiring for that today. And then they've got a splitter. I'm going to run those up. There's a control box that's going to control charging the batteries on the trailer and keeping them charged. So I'm going to use this for now on here to capture power and run it up to the trailer and keep those batteries charged. So anyways, we'll see how this thing works. I'll give it a month or two and come back with a review. It's pretty overcast this time of year. I might even wait for a 6-month review on this instead. That way I had a chance to really see how much I like it. Sage, no digging over there, sweetie. That's the camera. Come here. Good girl. No digging right there, okay, sweetie? That's my girl. Okay. Go find your toy. Go find your toy. Can I have it? Can I have your toy? I'll throw it for you. No? You're not very good about giving toys to people, are you? Get it? Did you bury it? Okay, so I just wanted to show you this. Let's see. I want to go into manual mode. then I just kick it off out of whack and we'll let it run through a reset up here. All right. So in about 10 seconds, this thing will start moving, or less. I got to kind of figure out the wiring and make sure I have enough length. Again, everything's kind of temporary, so I'm going to just zip tie stuff and I'm not going to do anything great. I do need to hook up the wind sensor, so I'm going to go make a pole out of a piece of tree and I'm going to set it back here. So I guess to summarize it, once you get the concrete pier put in place, which is what you'll want to do if you're going to do a permanent mount, once you set this up, you can do this all pretty much in one weekend easily once you've got that pier all dialed in. So it didn't take me long. I've only spent 2 days on it, and of course I'm waiting for some stuff to come in so I can actually finish it for this spot. But you can see it's self-adjusting here. So I really like that feature. I still got to fix the sensor over here and get that mounted a little better so it's a little more true. I need it true south and it's a little bit off, but that's okay. I think we'll be fine. So I'm pretty happy about it. Okay, I guess that's going to be it for this segment on this solar unit. I've got to go and put another one down below for my, I have an 800 watts of solar panels for my spring down below. So I got to go down there, start digging a hole, and I'm not going to put that one up temporary. That one's going to be, it's a fixed setup. So that one's going to get a, I'm going to go buy a sonotube, and I can almost drive up to that spot now. So I can go ahead and get 3 bags of concrete. I think what I'm going to do, like this one, I get a lot of snow here. So right now I got it mounted level to the ground. I'm going to actually, when I go to mount this over here a little more close to my work area, I'm going to do around a 24-inch above ground mount. So that'll give me a little clearance for when this thing goes full tilt in the wintertime. If it does, as long as I keep the snow cleared around it, I can still have a couple feet of snow and I'll be fine. Maybe even 3 feet of snow, because this place will get 3 feet of snow easy. I think it gets up to probably 5 feet of snow. So I'll just have to maintain it. I don't know how that would work if it hit a spot, if there would be a voltage resistance that would stop it from keeping on trying. I'm not certain. But at any rate, I'm pretty happy with it. It's a very high quality unit. Instructions are a little bit vague, but overall there's enough videos out there. It's pretty simple. If anybody gets it and wants to ask any questions, I can try to answer them for you on what I know so far. But again, I haven't got any real use time. As far as setting perimeters, I really don't know what are the best perimeters. I just looked in the pages of the book and I emulated that for now as a starting point, because the perimeters that were preset in it weren't that. And I just thought, well, that'll give me something to go by. So I've noticed it tends to do a little more adjusting now, which I think is better on a cloudy day like this, because it's going to be tracking when the clouds move away, and then it's going to capture sun in different places. But that's going to also use a lot of juice in the battery. That's why I'm going to run that generator, my Goal Zero 1250, once I get the other battery. Then I'll bring that down here and build a box, because it can't be out in the weather, and I'll just run wiring into it, and that'll power this up rather nicely. I suppose in the future, in a more permanent spot, wherever the battery source is for the panels that are there, I'll just run wiring to the 12-volt side inside the building that I put them in, so that it's not only charging, but it's also using the power from that source, and I won't have to have that solar generator tied to it. But since this is a temporary setup, that's just the easiest way to do it without running wiring all the way up to my batteries. And I didn't really want to do that. So, all right, that's it for now.